All right, guys, we're here. We are here. Episode emergency podcast. Actually, this is I don't actually know what episode number it would be, but we're doing an emergency playoff pod. Me and Trey decided to hop on here talk about some game two because by the time we meet next week, there's going to be game threes, potentially game fours having been played. So throughout the playoffs, we're gonna stay up to date, keep you guys up to date on these things, give you guys our reactions. Hop on here when we feel like we need to talk about the games as they unfold. So yeah, we had a pretty awesome slate of game twos take place here recently. The day we recorded, the Clippers Nuggets game two happened, so we're going to talk about that. Last night, the Lakers played the Timberwolves. Yesterday as well, the Pacers played the Bucks. Today, the Celtics played the Magic. So we're going to talk about that, break some of that down. But yeah, we're just going to hop right in, guys. It won't be as long as a normal episode, but still, we're gonna be punctual here. So yeah, man. If you guys watched, I watched every single dribble of this basketball game. The Lakers played the Timberwolves in game two. The Lakers were able to pull out a 94-85 win. They were pretty much up 20 the whole game. And then in the fourth quarter, the Timberwolves made a push. The Lakers stopped it. And the Lakers pulled out a defensive dominating performance, holding the Timberwolves to 85. That's the lowest the Timberwolves have scored all year. They've had a great offense. They're one of the best three-point shooting teams. Lakers held them to 5 of 25 shooting from the 3-point line. So, I mean, this was awesome. Luka was fantastic. 31, 12, and 9. He had 22 in the half, 16 in the first quarter. He really set the tone offensively, kind of helped build that big lead. And then the defense led by LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, and Dorian Finney-Smith, Gabe Vincent, they were all extremely active. That defense was able to hold him off. LeBron added 21, 11, and 7. He was huge down the stretch. We're going to really break this down, talk about this. Going to the other side, Jaden McDaniels and Naz Reid were not even half of what they were in game one. Naz Reid had 9 points on eight shots. Jaden McDaniels, 8 points on 11 shots. DiVincenzo couldn't even really play because he was in foul trouble. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 1 of 6 for 4 points. Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards were the only two Timberwolves in double digits. So, yeah, I mean, Trey, I know you probably watched this game. I mean, what do you think about this performance from the Lakers?
Well, number one, I think Rui looked like freaking prime Ron Artest.
Man, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think JJ Redick yelling at him and all that stuff kind of motivated him because
Mm-hmm.
game one he played terrible.
Yep.
But this time he played a lot better. I think LeBron kind of didn't take that much. He took threes a little bit, but I think he played more in the post.
Mm-hmm.
And those refs were doing some dumb calls.
Both ways, by the way. Both ways they were saying doing crazy nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb. But, Austin Reeves played actually really good compared to he did game one as well. I think he needs to cut down on threes a little bit. Same with
LeBron. Yeah. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, that's my thoughts about that game. Jackson Hayes, man. I felt bad for him for getting posterized by Ant-Man because that was nasty.
That was a nasty talk.
And I was like, whoa, what in the world?
That was really the only highlight of the day for the Timberwolves was that dunk.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But I think it was a great game by the Lakers overall. It was a fill-out game for game one. So now that they won the game, go back to Minnesota. And by the way, Minnesota at home is pretty terrible. Their record's terrible. So yeah, I mean Lakers still have Lakers winning in 5.
Yeah. So this game was a tale of just kind of I think the unfairness of NBA media. I watched a lot of I kind of got a lot of reactions. You guys know I'm on NBA Twitter quite often because I like to see what the consensus of people are saying. So I hate to do it. We're going to talk about LeBron a lot because I feel like there has to be a balance in the sports world. I'm fine with people bashing people, but there has to be a balance. So LeBron, He had 21, 11, and 7. He was huge on the glass. Eight defensive rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds. He had 7 assists. He scored 21. He was I guess he was 7 of 14 from in 2-point range, 1 of 5 from 3. So he struggled from 3. Austin Reeves was 7 of 8 from 2 and 0 of 6 from 3. He struggled from 3. His threes were mostly completely wide open. I want him to keep taking those shots because they're eventually going to fall. But he had his way when he drove the ball. He also added 5 rebounds, 5 assists. But for me, Trey, the big thing here, and from tip, LeBron James was so active and so aggressive on defense that it set the tone for this game. He was helping stunt Ant Edwards. He was guarding. He was switching off everybody. At times he was on Rudy. At times he was on Julius Randle. At times he was on Ant Edwards. He was all over the place. He was so active. He was their defensive anchor and a defensive masterclass. And after the game, Ant Edwards was talking. I don't know if you saw this, but he said, he was like, the Lakers were playing a zone that I've never really seen before. Each time Ant got the ball, they would swap from man to zone. And he said that was really confusing to him. I give massive props to JJ Redick for that. That's a defensive coaching scheme right there. Huge props to him. But LeBron, Rui Hachimura, I believe were the 2 best defenders on the court yesterday, and I think LeBron was the best. And there was a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year on the other side, by the way. LeBron was so, and the play of the game for me, the play of the game. The Lakers could not buy a bucket in the 4th. I think the thing on the, they show field goal, no field goal made however long. I think it was 3 minutes and 50 seconds the Lakers hadn't scored. They were reeling. The Timberwolves finally were finding something. They were getting going. They cut the lead all the way down to 9. Ant Edwards gets the ball up. So Luka just kind of flips the ball. Some weird. I think he got poked up and he had a turnover on the other end. So they're walking up the court. They could go either be down 7, force a timeout by the Lakers, or down 6 if they hit a 3. LeBron strips Ant Edwards cookies clean off of him, takes it all the way to the other end, tough layup, puts him back up 11. Ball game. Mm-hmm. That was the play of the game.
Yeah, that was
the play of the game. That was the only chance the Timberwolves. I think in that moment, I feel like the Lakers still had the best chance to win, obviously, because they were up 9. But as soon as he took that ball from Ant Edwards, it was like a 75% chance they were going to win. Then as soon as he hit that layup, it was like a 100% chance. That was so impressive to me. And I'm very thankful for Luka Doncic being able to take over this offense and allow LeBron to be a defensive stalwart. So LeBron gave you 21, 11, and 7 with elite defense. And I still saw people bashing him on the timeline because he couldn't hit threes. He's the most over-scrutinized, over-hated. He's the highest standard anyone holds to anyone. That's why he's the GOAT. But what was your take? What was your thoughts on LeBron's defense overall?
He's 40 years old, playing like he's 28 still on defense, because people thought he slowed down a lot on defense this past season. So, like I said yesterday, on Monday on the pod, what was Jordan doing? What was MJ doing at 40 years old in the playoffs? Couldn't find him at all.
He wasn't there.
He wasn't even there. He was playing. He was retiring, and he was probably in the casinos and stuff like that. LeBron's competing for a championship at age 40. He's not even slowing down. He's not slowing down at all. He told Steve Nash that every single day, I feel like I'm the best player on the court still. That's why he's still playing in the As far as how he played defense last night was amazing. He's 40 years old, locking down people still.
Locking down people.
Like locking down Ant-Man. And I love Ant-Man too, but hey man, LeBron's LeBron, man. You can't count that guy out at all.
Yeah. So to put it in just perspective, last year, Jaylen Brown's playoff stats were 23.9, 6 rebounds, 3 assists per game. That's Jaylen Brown. This is the guy who ended up winning Finals MVP. Obviously, his stats in the finals were better. So are you telling me that you're going to get a little worse scoring from LeBron than prime Jaylen Brown, more rebounding, more assists, and elite defense? And I'm led to believe that that's bad. He's 40, guys. And me and Trey say this all the time. We're the only people I feel like not the only people. There's a lot of people on the internet that mention it, but I don't think anyone truly understands how insane it is that LeBron is playing at 40 at all. Mm-hmm. I don't think people understand how insane it is that this guy is still this good defensively, and he can still get it going offensively. I thought he was pretty poor on offense outside of, when he drove and he had a couple nice jumpers, but his 3-ball wasn't falling. He hit his first one, then he went over 4. He only had 4 free throws. He still gave you 21, 11 and 7, 3 assists shy of a triple-double. Like, if that's what you're going to get from LeBron plus elite defense, and then Luka's going to be doing his thing, averaging 30, and then Austin Reaves was horrible game 1, was much better game 2, still couldn't buy a 3. He had 16, 5 and 5. And by the way, the Timberwolves are a bad matchup for Reaves. They're really long. So this is a tough matchup for, I think, Reaves and LeBron offensively, because Julius Randle is probably one of the only guys in the league that's as big as LeBron at the same height, like weight size. So he's much younger, so he can put a body on LeBron. Luka just kind of does whatever he wants to on these guys. I don't really know how he does it, but he does. And by the way, Luka, outside of his first quarter and his first half, he didn't play great in the second half. He ended up going 9 of 20 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3. He didn't even play fantastic in terms of offensive in the second half. He's still with 31, 12, and 9. I don't know. I think that this was a kind of a defensive masterclass from the Lakers here. And the thing to lean on, if you are a Lakers fan or if you're a LeBron fan, is that these guys had a lot of open threes, and they missed a lot of them. LeBron missed a lot of open threes. Austin missed all of his open threes. Rui missed all of his open threes. Gabe Vincent was great in his minutes. I wish Gabe Vincent would play. I wish that JJ would let Gabe play a little more. Maybe cut some of Dorian Finney-Smith's minutes. Maybe give 3 or 4 of Dorian Finney-Smith's minutes to Gabe. But overall, really impressive win from the Lakers, in my opinion. This game never really felt close until that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Because the Lakers only scored 13 points in the fourth quarter. Like, they did not, their offense really stagnated in the fourth. So I really hope to see JJ make some adjustments there. LeBron's 3 will start falling. Austin Reaves will start hitting his threes. The Timberwolves are a fantastic defensive team. I give them all the credit in the world. But yeah, I want to flip to the other side of the ball. Are you worried about, so Ant-Man in the first game, he wasn't great scoring the ball wise, but he had 9 assists. This game he had 0. Are you worried that Ant's not going to be able to figure out this Lakers zone in time?
Yeah, I don't think he'll figure it out. He's still young. I think he's still young, and he's still maturing in the NBA a lot. So I don't think he'll figure it out, because yesterday he was doing his own defense. Is like people were in the paint gathering it, but this time was a little different than it was previous times, and you watch NBA basketball as a whole. But I don't know. I saw that this was the 3rd time in his career where he's had a 0 assist game in his career. The last time it happened was 2021. So I think this is the main focal point of that Timberwolves offense, that he focused on him a lot. And I think because he can go hot any time in this series. You saw it last year against Phoenix. He went hot. But I don't think he'll figure it out. He's still maturing in the NBA. He's still young, so I don't think he will figure it out. That would be a little concerning too. That would be a little concerning as well if he did that. So, yeah.
I'm a little concerned about the playmaking ability of the Timberwolves. In the playoffs, guys, this is not like in the playoffs, it becomes how can I get a bucket? Like, how can I get a bucket? And having playmakers in the playoffs is so, so, so important. And if the Timberwolves, if Mike Conley can't get going playmaking wise, if Ant-Man can't get going playmaking wise, I mean, they had 14 assists as a team, and Julius Randle had 6 of them. So I'm a little on the Timberwolves side, I'm a little worried about that. For the Lakers, it's more of they just need to hit their open shots. For the Timberwolves, it's like we got to learn how to generate more open shots with our playmaking. And Mike Conley is kind of a liability defensively. Also, I feel really bad for Rudy Gobert. He gets mismatch hunted all the time. He's always Luka's always like trying to purposely bully him. Austin Reeves switched to him and gave him the work. LeBron's been doing that as well. Pulling that center away, pulling that defensive anchor away from the paint can lead to second chance points. It can lead to, just getting Rudy not being able to hang on the perimeter. So I'd be worried if I was a Timberwolves fan about that. They had a franchise record in threes made in game 1, and then in game 2 they made 5 threes. The Lakers only made 6 threes. That was nothing impressive from them either. But they missed a lot of open ones. The Timberwolves have to figure out a way to get that playmaking going. And if that zone bothers Ant the rest of the series, I don't know how they can win another game. Like, he's their guy. I don't know what it was. When I watch him, sometimes it just feels like he's not being aggressive enough. And I think this was also an issue in the Mavs series last year in the Western Conference Finals. He tried to do too much playmaking when he just needs to get to the bucket. Rui was fantastic on him. It's difficult because the Lakers have a lot of great wing defenders: Rui, LeBron, Dorian Finney-Smith, Gabe Vincent. Those are 4 guys that can at least hang with Ant. I mean, Ant's going to get his, as Jackson Hayes learned the hard way, but I don't know. This is a tough matchup for the Lakers offensively, and they were still able to dominate the whole game. The game is not 9 points close. It was never close. The Timberwolves never led. It was never really close. So yeah. Do you have any final thoughts on this game or the rest of the series?
Ant-Man, Superman, Batman, Lakers in 5.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see. I'm really interested to see how the game 3 goes. That first game in the Timberwolves arena. So we'll see how that goes. I feel like the Timberwolves have to win that one if they want a chance. No. If the Lakers steal back home court in game 3, I feel like it could unravel. So I expect the Timberwolves to come out very, very aggressive, just like the Lakers did in game 2. So, that's my thoughts on it. The Timberwolves are just hacking. Like, I saw a lot of people mad that, Naz Reid and Dante DiVincenzo got into foul trouble early. Did they watch the game? These guys were hacking Lakers, hacking them. Naz Reid trucked Austin Reeves. Julius Randle literally punched LeBron in the face. And he was doing this. It's like, yeah, you want to replay it and see how you smacked him in the face? I don't know.
You see? That's physical basketball, man. That's what 80s and 90s basketball is apparently, basically.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I was very impressed with how the Lakers played defensively. I want to see more threes being made, these open ones. Austin Reeves will start hitting those. I have no worries about that. But otherwise, it's been kind of 2 blowouts. When LeBron's 3 starts falling, it's going to get a little dangerous for the Timberwolves.
Yep.
And when Luka has a great fourth quarter, if Luka can have a great first quarter and a great fourth quarter, it's going to be really hard to beat this team. Yeah, we're gonna move on. We'll move on to the Clippers Nuggets game. This has been the best series in the first round by far. Both of these games have been absolute nail biters. Awesome. The Clippers were able to win here 105-102. They were able to steal a game in Denver, which is huge. Kawhi Leonard, man, vintage Kawhi Leonard moment. Toronto Kawhi Leonard game. He was pretty much unstoppable. He was 15 of 19, 39 points, 4 of 7 from 3, 5 of 5 from the free throw line. He added 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. He had 1 turnover. Extremely efficient. I mean, 39 points on 19 shots, man. And I think he made his first 10 shots or something like that, or maybe his first 9. I don't remember exactly, but Zubats played great, 16 and 12. James Harden was fine. He wasn't great like he was in the first game, but he didn't really have to be. Kawhi was doing whatever he wanted to. So, 18, 7 assists from James Harden. That'll work. Going to the other side, Jokic had another triple-double, 26 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. Michael Porter Jr. finally had a good game, 15 and 15. Aaron Gordon added 14. Jamal Murray added 23. What was your take on this game?
Yeah, I think I owe Kawhi an apology. Because I said I agree with Stephen Name. I did. That he was the worst superstar of all time in the history of sports. But now I'm really surprised that he's back. He's playing.
Dude, yeah.
I mean, I was surprised, man. I ain't gonna lie. But I think what this shows is that Clippers bench and depth is way better than the Nuggets, because Nuggets don't have depth.
Absolutely, they have no depth.
I mean, I think the dumbest trade they ever made was letting go of Bruce Brown from, and because Russell, Russ is great and all that stuff, but they don't have any depth on that team.
They have nothing, man.
All they have is Jamal Murray and Jokic and Russ,
and
Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah,
but I think on top of that, coaching is important in this game because Tyronn Lue has been out coaching. I don't know the guy's name from Denver, by the way. I don't know his name.
Yeah, the new Denver coach. Yeah,
the interim. I don't know what his name is. Let's call him Bob for now. But
hold on, I got you. David Adelman.
Yeah, that guy. Tyronn Lue I coached him big time, and his experience is a lot. His experience is so far. But you know what? Kawhi Leonard is back. I'm gonna say it straight up right now. Kawhi, this team can go to the Western Conference Finals and go against the Lakers probably. I think if
the Clippers are good, man.
And the Clippers beat the Nuggets, I think they can beat the Thunder, and probably go to the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers.
Wow,
that's classy. Because man, Kawhi's been blowing out, man. That guy's back. But yeah, Kawhi, I'm sorry for calling the worst superstar in history of sports.
Yeah, dude. He was literally like a magnet.
Yeah.
4 misses. 3 of them were from 3. So he was 11 of 12 from 2. A lot of mid-range jump shots. He had a nasty dunk. Or no, I think that was game 1 actually. He was just great. He looked impeccably awesome. I want to give a huge shout out to Chris Dunn. His box, well, actually, 5 points, whatever. 6 rebounds, that's good. 2 assists, that's whatever. 3 steals and a block. This guy's defense is awesome. It'll never show up. They have to run a lot of actions with Jamal Murray running through screens, lots of different setups, elevator screens to even get him the ball because of how aggressive Chris Dunn's been playing on defense. He's been great. Norman Powell was okay. 13 points on 14 shots isn't fantastic. But I want to go to the other side. Jokic struggled from the free throw line. He missed 4. They lost by 3. Not saying they would have won if he made those 4, but I feel like Jokic has to be more aggressive offensively. 16 shots is not going to cut it. I'm sorry. There's no reason Aaron Gordon and Russell Westbrook should be with even 5 shot attempts of Joker. I think Joker needs to take 20, 21, 22 shots a game. I really don't like the passiveness. And I get it because when in his championship run, that team around him was fantastic. He could distribute the ball more, but sometimes, like, I want him to be a little more aggressive, right? It's the same like when LeBron in game 1. I came on this podcast and I said LeBron needs to be more aggressive in game 2, offensively and defensively, and he was. I need Joker to be more aggressive offensively. Take more shots. I know Zubac is literally like a copy and paste version of you in terms of size. Also, real quickly, Joker is like a really bad flopper. I don't know if you watched this game.
Mm-hmm.
There was multiple times when like Chris Dunn like bumped into him and Joker like was acting like he got hit by a semi truck. This guy's 7 feet tall, 300 pounds. There's zero reason James Harden should be able to put this guy on the deck. So I want to call that out. He's kind of been blatant flopping. I saw something. I saw someone say, I think this person said maybe it's because he is so desperate because he knows this team isn't as good, so he's trying to do anything he can. I get that. That's probably true, but it's like hard to watch because no one talks about it. Mm-hmm. We talk about SGA. We talk about, a lot of people talk about how LeBron flops. A lot of people talk about Luka, obviously Curry. James Harden, Curry, all those people. Joker's just as bad as all of them, if not worse. Because this he reminds me of Joel Embiid. Like, you're 900 pounds. There's no way James Harden should be able to knock you down. But I don't know. I don't know. It was interesting. He didn't make him pay at the free throw line. 60% is not going to cut it from him. 7 turnovers as well, man. Joker has to play better. If Kawhi's going to outplay Joker, this series is over. It's over. It's over. If Joker can't be 30, 10 and 8, 30, 10 and 8 a night, it's over. And that's unfortunate. I had to watch LeBron do the same thing in 2018. Womp womp. You'll get over it. You have a good starting 5. You got to make it work. Yeah, but I think your take on the Clippers potentially being able to beat the Thunder is very interesting because I don't think you're wrong. I think they do. I think they'd have a chance in that series. And it all depends on James Harden. If Kawhi can keep this up, because I could see Kawhi being kind of an issue for the Clippers. Or I'm sorry, for the Thunder. In terms of, like, they're probably going to put Lou Dort on him, and Kawhi's probably going to get the whistle. When Lou Dort's doing his crazy football stuff and like tackling people in his ridiculous.
That's very strong too, man.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. And Chris Dunn on SGA, maybe he could give SGA some issues. It's the strongest foul baiter in history versus the strongest foul baiter of today, James Harden versus SGA. But that's an interesting take. So I said Nuggets in 7. I mainly said that because I thought Joker was going to be the best player on the court every game. And because you and Jaden both picked the Clippers, so I wanted to be different. But honestly, I could definitely see the Clippers winning this series, especially if Kawhi's just 80% of what he was 2 days ago. Man, it's going to be a long, long series for the Nuggets.
And it looks like a little bit of Toronto Kawhi, man.
He does, man. He's hitting these fadeaway jumpers, getting to his spots. He's driving. He's hitting threes. Like, who, man? And there's no one on the Nuggets who can defend this guy.
No,
there's nobody.
I think people underestimate Kawhi's strength too, because Kawhi's pretty strong, man.
Yeah, Kawhi's he's strong. He's very, even with all of his surgeries, he still has a good first step. He still has a good bounce. His arms are incredibly long. His jumper is pure. His jumper is so pure. But like, Christian Braun is guarding him. Like Christian Braun, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr. That's cake. That's like when that video, Shannon Sharp, we won't talk about the Shannon Sharp stuff, but the video when he's going, oxtail, yams, collard greens, that's Kawhi Leonard when he looks at this Denver Nugget defensive lineup. I mean, so huge game from Kawhi. He was awesome. Fantastic to watch. I mean, 39 on 5 free throws. SGA could never. Anyways, we're going to move on. So we'll briefly discuss these last two games. I just want to kind of talk about them a little bit. The Bucks, man, the Bucks fall to 0-2 in the series versus the Pacers. They cut a 20-point lead down to at 2, and then the Pacers were able to pull away at the last half of the fourth quarter, man. But Giannis, 34 points, 18 rebounds, 7 assists, good defense. They lost. Damian Lillard came back. He was horrific, 14 on 13 shots. He had 7 assists, which was nice, but he couldn't get the ball in the hoop. Bobby Portis played fantastic, 28 and 12. Kyle Kuzma is awful. This is not the Kyle Kuzma I watched in the bubble.
Mm-mm.
That guy was hitting shots. He at least had 12. At least he didn't have 0 like game 1. But going on the other side, you know what this is? This is a role player mismatch. The Pacers have so many good role players. Aaron Naismith, Andrew Nembhard, Miles Turner, Obi Toppin, Benedict Mathurin. All these great role players, and Tyrese Halliburton, who can facilitate the offense, and Pascal Siakam is kind of like the go-to wing scorer. And then on the Bucks, it's Giannis and friends. It's Giannis and friends. It's a really bad mismatch. I feel bad for Giannis. I feel bad that Giannis had 2018 LeBron expectations on him, because that's just not fair at all. And everyone's like, "Oh, who did LeBron play in 2018 for the first series?" It was the Pacers. Yeah, I know. Giannis is fantastic. I think he's top 15 player ever, maybe top 16. If he won another chip, I think he'd be in the top 10 conversation. He's not 2018 LeBron. He's just not. So I do feel bad for him. I think if they lose game 3 in Milwaukee, I think that will be the end of Giannis in Milwaukee. I think if they go down 0-3 against the Pacers, I think we might see Giannis on a different team next year or the year after. I really do. Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Right. I can see your point about that, but I'm also putting on Doc Rivers a little bit too, and also on Giannis.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Giannis wanted Dame. Giannis wanted Doc Rivers as his coach and got fired, and he wanted to fire Mike Budenholzer. So it's a little bit on Giannis too, because Giannis, people say LeBron's a diva, LeBron's a GM, this and that. Well, look at the Giannis too. Giannis got Dame Lillard out of Portland. Giannis wanted Doc Rivers as his coach. Mm-hmm. He wanted Mike Budenholzer fired. He wanted Andrew Griffin fired as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if y'all want to do that to LeBron too, do it to Giannis too. Keep that same energy for Giannis too.
Yeah,
because Giannis wanted all these people on his team, and then when he loses, Giannis never blamed himself at all. Giannis to me is a great player. One of my favorite players to watch is Giannis all the time. I like watching Giannis. I love his attack style and maybe I like his attitude. He's a great guy, but he wanted Dame, he wanted Brook Lopez, he wanted Kyle Kuzma. So it's a little bit on Giannis too, as far as him having his team. So if he leaves Milwaukee, I would think that he's a hypocrite, because the team he has now, Giannis built it. Giannis was in charge, was part of the talks too. He was part of it. So I'm not gonna let that start from Giannis too, because people do that to LeBron.
Yeah,
people do that to LeBron. So Giannis, if y'all lose, this is your fault too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's a great point. He did want Bud out of there. He got Dame. I think Dame coming back after being gone for so long was definitely a desperation play. It didn't really make a difference. I mean, look at this box score. There's 6 Pacers in double figures. Pascal Siakam, 24, Aaron Naismith, 16, Miles Turner, 15, Andrew Nembhard, 17, Tyrese Halliburton, 21, Benedict Mathurin, 14. That's really hard to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And they were perfect from the free throw line, 19 of 19. The Bucks were 13 of 19. The Pacers were 16 to 36 from three. The Milwaukee Bucks 14 to 34 from three. This Pacers team, man, I'm serious. They could really give some issues to the Cavs in the second round, I think.
Yeah.
This Pacers team is good. It's good. I mean, in terms of issues, I mean, maybe take a game or two. I don't think that's going to be an easy series for Cleveland at all. But yeah, man, I think this series is over. I think the Pacers will probably win in 4 or 5. Maybe Giannis will go just ballistic and win one game by himself. But I don't see how the Bucks come back unless Dame overnight remembers how to play basketball like he did in 2020. That's the only chance they have.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, that's it. So, I feel bad for Giannis, but like Trey said, and I agree, there's a lot of things you can look back on. It is his fault as well. You wanted Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers stinks. So, yeah, I mean, he won a championship with a super team, and everyone thinks that he's a good coach. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. We're going to move on to the last NBA game we're going to talk about real quickly here. I only want to talk about this for one reason. The Magic played the Celtics game 2. Celtics won 109-100. Paulo Banchero was great, 32, 9, and 7. But the reason I want to talk about this game is Jason Tatum did not play in this game. He was out with a wrist injury, and his team won comfortably without him. Jaylen Brown, 36, 10, and 5. Derek White, 17. Kristaps Porzingis, 20 and 10. The sixth man of the year, Peyton Pritchard, added 14 off the bench. I've seen a lot of things. Jason Tatum we need to have a hard conversation about Jason Tatum if he goes back to back. He has the best team in the league, man. This team is loaded. They have Jaylen Brown can be the number one option on this team. Derek White, fantastic, great defender. Jrue Holiday, great defender. Kristaps Porzingis can give you a 20. They have the sixth man of the year. I mean, I think that this game kind of hurt Jason Tatum's rep, actually. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I can see your point by that, but I think that it was a closer game than usual because game 1, Boston blew them out pretty bad. I think Paulo Banchero is trying his best to carry that team, and Paulo Banchero is really good, you know. But I agree with you. I think Boston's too loaded in the East. I mean, you have Kristaps Porzingis, you have Jaylen Brown, who could be number one option in that team. Also have Al Horford, who can defend 1 through 5. So I don't know, man. I think they're probably the best team in the East. They might come out of the East too.
I think they're going to.
I think they will. So, but yeah, this season, they're probably going to sweep the Magic. Probably, maybe I give Magic one game probably, but they're probably going to sweep the Magic.
Yeah, I think the only if Jason Tatum was out for an extended period of time, I think the Celtics would still make the conference finals. I don't think the Pistons or the Knicks could beat the Celtics even without Jason Tatum. I'm serious. I don't know. I really don't know. I really like the Pistons just because I really like Cade Cunningham. But maybe the Knicks could give him a run without JT. But man, I think the only team in the Eastern Conference that could beat Jason Tatumless Celtics is the Cavs. And I think the only team in the Eastern Conference that can beat or even contend with the Celtics is the Cavs in general. So I think they're on a collision course for the Eastern Conference Finals. That should be a good one. The Cavs are a great team. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, guys, that wraps up the NBA talk. We're going to briefly discuss a little bit more. I guess a little bit more basketball and then some other things. But that was the game 2 kind of recap. The Rockets are playing the Warriors right now. Jimmy Butler did go down. He landed on his booty. So I don't know if his booty's broken or what's going on there, but he is out for the remainder of game 2. The Rockets are up 65-49. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe the Rockets can take a game back, headed back to Golden State. But we're going to move on from that. So Trey wanted to discuss this briefly here. So I think me and Trey have the same issues with Steph Curry fans. He's the most protected superstar in the NBA. When he loses, it's not his fault. When he wins, it's all because of him. He only plays one side of the ball. I think he's a little underrated on defense at times. He can be pretty decent. He's not a defender at all. But he's had it great his whole career. For most of his career, he at least had two first ballot Hall of Famers alongside him in Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. Then, of course, for those 2 years with KD, he had another top 15, 16, 17-ish player in KD alongside him, along with Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. But the question is, Magic versus Steph. We talk about LeBron Jordan a lot. Magic versus Steph, who's the better point guard?
Guys, it's Magic Johnson, man. It's Magic. Here's the deal, okay? Steph Curry changed the game for the good. But I said many times too in the past, on this podcast especially, he changed it for the worse as well. Because now people want to shoot threes, and it's a copycat league. Look at the Boston Celtics. Look at Boston, for example, Boston led the team. Well, Boston led the NBA in threes, And Curry's great. Don't get me wrong. I think Curry, for his size, is great. He proved that people that can't be like Jordan, LeBron, Kobe can be an NBA player. Him and AI changed the game for that reason. But here's the deal. I think Magic's for me the top 4 player of all time in history of the NBA. I think he's better than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in my book. Magic, his first rookie year of the NBA, he had in 1980 NBA Finals, he had 42 points and 20 rebounds and 10 assists. He was playing center too. Magic changed the game for the good too. Magic's the first player that's 6'9" point guard who can handle the rock, who can pass, guard 1 through 5, play 1 through 5. And look at him now. He is a 5-time NBA champion, a 3-time MVP, 3 times Finals MVP. So, and Steph Curry had arguably the greatest scorer of all time, and Kevin Durant on his team. Here's the deal. Curry fans are kind of like Jack Nicklaus fans in my book. They're ridiculous. They want to clickbait you and rage bait you. And then I saw this thing, I'm address this, okay? Klay Thompson is a 75 top greatest player of all time. I don't care if he didn't make the list team at all. He is on that ballot.
He is, absolutely.
He didn't make the ballot, but you know what? I think it's baloney. How people say, oh, Curry won a ring without a top 75 player on his team.
It's baloney, dude.
That's so baloney, dude. Klay Thompson is a Hall of Famer. Klay Thompson is arguably a top 3 greatest 3-point shooters of all time in the history of basketball.
I think he's 3. Or I think he's either 2 or 3.
2 or 3, yeah, 2 or 3. For sure, it's Curry. Behind them is either Ray Allen or Klay Thompson, and then who knows. But he was on that team for a while. Okay? Here's the deal. He's a top 75 player of all time, whether he's on the list or not, on that team or not. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. When he retires, he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Golden State will make a statue of him and Curry.
Absolutely. Splash Brothers. Yeah.
They will his number will be hanging with the Raptors forever in Golden State.
Yeah, they're going to retire his number. Absolutely.
They're going to.
Absolutely, yeah.
This whole baloney saying, oh, Curry won without a top 25 player of all time.
I mean,
that's just so baloney. Real
quickly, here's Klay's stats starting in 2014, 2015 when they finally broke the barrier. Klay Thompson, 21 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists on 43% from 3. Klay Thompson was also, before his injury versus Toronto in those finals, he was an elite defender. Guys, this guy was like the greatest. I think Klay Thompson's the greatest 3-and-D player ever. Is that crazy to say? I don't think so. I think he's the greatest 3-and-D player ever. The next year, 2015, 2016, 22 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists on 43% shooting from 3 again. The next year, all-star, by the way. 22 points per game, 3 rebounds, 2 assists on 41% shooting from 3. The next year, guys, in 2017, 2018, he was a defensive player of the year candidate. He was 11th place in defensive player of the year. 20 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists on 44% from 3 the next year, the final year before his injury, 21.5 points. This is all with Kevin Durant too, but Kevin flipping Durant too, by the way, guys. 21.5 points per game, 3 rebounds, 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 40% shooting from 3. He's a top 75 player ever. Come on. Continue. Sorry.
No, yeah, you're right. He is. Talk about that. You have Draymond Green too,
who's
arguably
one of the best defenders ever. As much as I cannot stand that guy, he's one of the best defenders.
Yeah. I think in the modern NBA too, behind Tim Duncan too, since Tim Duncan retired. But here's the deal. On top of that, Steph Curry went to after the 3-1 blowout from the Cavs. He later went to the Hamptons and begged Kevin Durant to join his team. I blame Kevin Durant for this crap because Steph Curry is not a top 5 player of all time. He ain't top 6. He's top 9 the max. And if Giannis or Jokic wins another ring, we may have to have that discussion again of him being top 10 overall. Top of that, he's not even the second best player in his generation of basketball. It's Kobe. It's LeBron and Kobe, and then Tim Duncan and D Wade.
Yep.
Steph Curry, all because he has 4 rings, doesn't mean jack. So Steph Curry's not top. He's not better than Magic. Who's a better passer, Magic or Steph Curry? Guys, be for real.
It's Magic. It's not even close.
Who's a better rebounder? It's Magic. Who's a better? The only thing Steph is good at is scoring and 3-point shooting. That's about it.
Yeah. Magic is a better defender as well.
Yeah, way better defender too. Curry is one a good shooter, and that's about it. A good scorer. That's about it. But yeah, so for me, the best point guard of all time is Magic Johnson.
So I loved that. I loved a lot of that. Real quickly, I just want to put this into perspective. Curry has 4 rings. 3 of them, he was not Finals MVP. One of them, he played a Cavs team, was LeBron, Matthew Dellavedova, and some Subway workers because Kevin Love's shoulder exploded and Kyrie's kneecap exploded. His next ring he won, it's because he gave his team up to KD, Kevin flippin' Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Sean Livingston and Andre Iguodala. So I think the only legit Curry was phenomenal in 2022 when they won. He was great. I see a lot of people saying he had no help. That's baloney. Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins were awesome in that entire run. They were awesome. So let's just stop with that. Yeah, let's just stop with that nonsense. They were great. He had a great team. If LeBron James had 4 rings in 3, say D Wade both times in Miami was Finals MVP, then AD was Finals MVP in 2020, he wouldn't even be in the same stratosphere in Michael Jordan in the GOAT debates.
Yeah, no.
But for some reason, Curry can be the second best player on his team 3 years in a row, 3 titles in a row, and be in the same conversations as LeBron. It's because people hate LeBron, but they put Curry on this pedestal that I don't understand. It's ridiculous because I don't think it's unfair to Curry because I like Curry. I think he's a great player. I think he's a top 10 player of all time. I think he's the greatest shooter of all time. I think he changed the game for better or for worse. He still changed the game. But to think if Michael Jordan, if Scottie Pippen won 5 of those Finals MVPs, there'd be 0 GOAT debate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There'd be 0. There'd be none. Was Curry instrumental in those championship runs? Yes. Was he the best player on his team? No, it was KD. It's KD by far. It's KD by far. Okay. So that's just kind of ridiculous to me. But back to the question. Sorry, I had to go on that rant. Back to the question. Who's the best point guard of all time? The best point guard of all time is Magic Johnson. Do you guys know what a point guard is? A facilitator, a passer. Okay. The best point guard of all time is Magic Johnson. Steph Curry is not a very good point guard. He plays the point guard position, but he's not a very good point guard. Curry plays like a shooting guard.
Mm-hmm.
He does. Well, he brings the ball up the court. He'll initiate the offense. I understand that. But, I mean, for his career, I'm going to pull it up real quick. For his career, I think he's around 6 assists a game. Let me see here.
Yeah.
It's 6.4 assists per game for his career. He's not a point guard. Like, that's not a lot of assists. For me, it's Magic Johnson. I don't think it's fair to put Steph Curry in point guard conversations because he doesn't really play like one. I get it's the position he quote unquote plays, but it's Magic Johnson, guys. Just stop it. Just stop. And Paul Pierce saying if Steph gets 5, we're gonna have tough conversations. Just shut your mouth, dude. LeBron's your daddy, okay? Just shut up. Like, for real, man. Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. I like Steph a lot. I hate his fans. His fans are so unfair. His fans have no context of basketball knowledge. They hold LeBron to a standard so far above they hold Steph Curry. Isn't that funny? The guy they say is the best player ever. Most Steph fans think he's the GOAT. A lot of them do. If having Steph at such a low standard compared to LeBron is really funny to me, coming from some people saying Steph's better than LeBron. It's just kind of comedy to me. Don't get me started on Steph Kobe. He's not better than Kobe. He's not better than Tim Duncan. I think he's he's lower on my list than I have Shaq. I have Shaq above him. I know people have Larry Bird above him. People have KD above him. He's not in the same stratosphere as Michael Jordan, and he's not on the same planet as LeBron. We just got to stop it. We got to stop. We got to be less disingenuous in this conversation. Holding Steph to a subpar standard than holding LeBron to a high standard. It's just not fair. It's not fair. I'm fine with people holding LeBron to a high standard because he's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. He gets held to that. But you got to hold Steph to at least remotely the same standards. Mm-hmm. And when you start doing that, that's when you realize, ooh, man, is he top 10? I think he is. But I know Trey was really struggling with that. He was really struggling with that. Seen people say he's better than Kobe. Just stop it, bro. Stop it. Just stop. Like, we got to stop with that. So, yeah, guys, that wraps us up for the emergency pod episode. Emergency playoff pod. Thank you guys for tuning in. Enjoy some great basketball the rest of the week. I enjoy the Zurich Classic happening. I think they tee off tomorrow. Rory McIlroy will be playing his first tournament since the Masters, so I'm excited to see how he plays. I'll be watching that. I want to see how Rory plays. If he plays unbelievable, then the monkey's off his back and he could go for 2 or 3 majors this year. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment. Be on the lookout for the giveaway happening soon. Be on the lookout for maybe another potential bonus episode either this week or next, whenever. We'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate the support, and we will see you guys next week for a regularly scheduled episode. So y'all have a good one, and we will see y'all later.